Tonight is the first night that I've really had a chance to record and answer a couple of questions. And I go to grab my camera and the batteries are dead. So, hopefully you guys will be cool with audio only. I'm trying my best to do more video. I just can't seem to get my shit together. But this is regarding my Mandela Effect theory video. I'm gonna go over it real quick. My theory, and this is gonna be as fast as possible. And if you have already heard my theory, it may be worth listening again, because I'm going to delve a little bit further into it based on some of the questions that I was asked. First off, I believe the reason that we are noticing these changes is because of death. Some believe that there was like a mass event that took out loads of people. For instance, in 2012, I myself kind of thought, leading up to December 21st, that there was going to be something happen. But myself, I leaned more toward an awakening. But really, that's kind of what's happening here. And the fact that people every single day are waking up to noticing these changes. I've even had comments from people that said they were ultimate skeptics, never believed the Mandela Effect until they watched my video. And a lot of them didn't know that the Lindbergh baby, now in this reality, was found dead. They found the killer and executed them. Like me, they remembered the killer or kidnapper never being found. You can do a quick Google search. Thinks they are the Lindbergh baby. There's been many people over the years come forward and say that they think that they are the Lindbergh baby. If the Lindbergh baby had died the way the story is now, no one would be coming forward saying that they are the Lindbergh baby. So, that alone means the story has changed. There's even a Simpsons episode where Homer's father says that he's the missing Lindbergh baby. There's a Family Guy episode says that he's the missing Lindbergh baby. There's a Family Guy episode where I think they flushed Dewey down the toilet or something. And they was like, oh no, what am I going to do? And he references the Lindbergh baby. So, my theory is it happens because of death. Death is a natural thing. It happens to people every single day. So now I'm going to get into my theory and how it works, in my opinion. If I was to die, my consciousness would leave this reality that I'm in right now. Nothing is perfect except Jesus and God. So our consciousness would shift into the closest reality that matches our own. And when that would happen, we would wake up like it's a brand new day. We wouldn't remember dying. we wouldn't remember the day we just had. We would just be waking up. Now, someone asked, what would happen to the soul, the person that you're shifting into? Are you kicking them out of their body? In other words, I die in this reality. My consciousness shifts to the closest one of my own. What happens to the version of me that I am now entering? You can't look at it as separate people. They're all versions of us. In other words, when my consciousness shifts into myself, into the next reality, I'm not kicking myself out and taking over. Our consciousness just merges. That's why you hear stories of people that remember things, and they swear to God they remember stories. They'll be talking with friends, and they'll be like, hey, do you remember when Bob kicked that ball, and it hit the wall, come back and hit himself in the face? And they'll be like, ha ha ha, yeah, I remember that, but it wasn't Bob, it was Ben. And you know for a fact that it was Bob. But they and about 5 other people that was there swear up and down it was Ben, that you remembered it wrong. Well, you see, you had the same exact memory, but slightly different. You understand? You understand? You understand? Because in the first reality, you may have called Bob, right? But in the second reality, free will, Bob might have been in the shower. So you tried to call Bob, but he wasn't there, or his friend Ben answered the phone. You see what I'm saying? You have the same experiences, just slightly different. Because the reality we go to is going to be as close to perfect as possible. Because we're not supposed to realize the change. That's another thing that now I'm going to address. Before, I didn't really know why we would notice changes now. I believe that's because of us, CERN, humans. You know, when it comes to science and new science, we're good at one thing, and that's fucking up. We eventually get things right, but we fuck up a lot. I'm sure there's a lot of people that died when they was trying to learn how to do open heart surgery. So they have glitched something to where we remember it now. I'm also going to address another question. And by the way, I replied to a lot of the comments, but I would take time and explain my thoughts. 5 minutes on one reply. And there's so many comments on that video that, of course, no one can read them all when they're watching the video, so they're asking a question. And turns out I answered the same question 20 times. So I just decided to make a video, or audio, I guess, and answer the questions. But yeah, I think that CERN, their experiments, is the reason we notice the changes. But as far as the next question was, someone said, well, if we die and shift, then we would be hundreds of years old if this happened over and over again. That's a part I hadn't really thought about when I made the other video. So it led me to think on it, and it kind of hit me what they say about reincarnation is that we choose our life. We come here for a certain reason. We come to learn certain lessons, or maybe to teach certain lessons, or have certain experiences. So I think that if you die before you finish what you came here to do, you're going to merge into the next reality that's 99.99999% as close to the one you're just leaving. If you learn or teach what you came here to do, then when you die, that's when you go to heaven, if you want to call it that. I know everyone has different beliefs. Basically, it's all the same thing. Anything in the afterlife, that's where you go. And you're going to review your life. You're going to remember everything. You're going to remember all your past lives. And then you come back and do it again. And the goal is ultimate enlightenment. Once you learn and experience enough, you may even become an angel, a guardian, a teacher to humans. Instead of an experiencer, you're now a teacher. So basically, you come in your life to learn a certain thing. If something something in your free will or whatever keeps you from doing that thing, if you die, you shift. And the person you shift into is yourself. You're not kicking someone out of their body, it's you. Your consciousness and memories is what is transferred. Since it's 99.999% the same as the reality you just left, those experiences and memories are basically the same. That's why some of you say that, you feel the same, though you feel different. Because people around you are slightly different. That's because it's not perfect. It's trying to match you as perfectly as it can. When you add more people to that equation, it's harder to get everyone perfect. So you're going to have that friend that used to hate mustard, and now they eat it on everything. And when you ask them, why are you eating mustard? You hated mustard. And they're going to be like, no, I didn't. I've always loved mustard. What are you talking about? And you're going to keep shifting until you do what you came to do. And each time you shift, there's going to be slight differences that you're going to notice. And I also believe that there's probably people that have shifted and don't know it. They have to be awakened. They have to be startled out to notice a change. Because we're so good at not trusting our own memory. We're so good at explaining things away. People that have seen spirits or whatever. That's another thing. I really want to answer this question because it's fucked my head up and I've been thinking about it a lot. My channel is mostly paranormal investigations I record. When I play it back, there's voices that are answering my questions. I would have told you a couple of months ago that they are human spirits that have died, and for whatever reason they hung around and didn't move on, so now they're trapped. But now, since this theory makes so much sense to me, if we die and shift until we do what we came to do, and then leave to come back again, who are these voices? Now, a possible explanation is we die, we shift, something glitches, something happens, and our consciousness gets trapped in between. Sort of like my theory was in the first place, that we get trapped from here to heaven in between. Except we're being trapped now from here to the next reality. Our consciousness, our memories, our thoughts, us, our energy, our essence, our soul, it's not transferred. It gets stuck. I think that's why I hear them say, help me a lot. Or let me out, let me in. Let me out of where I'm trapped. Let me into your reality. Let me into reality, period. Or I could be completely wrong. They could be demons. So many people are telling me they are demons. I try not to think of it that way. I think that is the fear of the unknown. It's something we honestly can't explain because we can't know for sure who it is we're hearing. So many people instantly jump to fear. And what do they fear when it comes to death is evil, hell, demons. I really would like to know. So many of you have agreed with my theory. So many have seemed to have been awakened by my video. There's been so many stories of people that said that after watching my video that it just hit them. They now remember when they died or when they possibly could have died. And that after those experiences of when they think they died is when things started to change. This one guy had a fascinating story. He said that he was outside and he had said that his neighbor was outside. And his neighbor looked over at him, and the way he explained it was they was, pretty far away. They wasn't like right next door. But they kept staring at him. And they jumped in the car and headed toward him, like coming to his house. So he ran inside to do something and came back out, and his neighbor was back in his yard and went in the house or something like that. But he had said that after watching my video that he thought about that and that he could have been seeing his neighbor from the previous reality that he left. Meaning that while he is out in his yard, his neighbor sees him. But he's not supposed to see him because he's dead. You understand? The neighbor is seeing his ghost. So of course he's going to stare at him and jump in the truck and rush over to see if he's seeing what he thinks he's seeing. And when he went back in the house and came back out, somehow he got shifted back to his normal reality. Another story that was fascinating to me was a mother that lost her son. She said she was walking down the street and she reached a house that they used to live in. And as she was walking up, she saw him sitting there talking to a group of friends. And said she just kept walking by him, like freaked out. Because her son was dead, but it was clearly him. And said that he was looking at her really strange. Like he had seen a ghost. Like he was seeing someone he wasn't supposed to be seeing. She said she kept walking by the building, turned to walk the other way, like around the building. And that he had just disappeared. She looked back and he was gone. You know, someone could bullshit and make up a story like that, but I'm a pretty good read of character. I think these people really witnessed these things. Anyways, I'm now going to do a quick recording and see if I can get some answers. But I just wanted to answer some of your questions about my Mandela Effect death theory. So, anyways, thanks for watching, guys.